Hello, and welcome to another episode of Teaching with Madly Learning. You have 1 week left of teaching if you are here in Ontario and in other places in the country. For some of you that are teaching in other jurisdictions, you may be done by now, and I am very excited for you to be done. For me, I have till the end of the week. We are still teaching right until the end, but for us, it's been a different year, and there's a few things that I wanted to talk about, and that is two things in particular. One is how we wind down the year, and the other one is looking forward and what's up next and how we can continue to take the time we need to relax and unwind during the summer, but also start to wrap our head around what September might look like and how we can slowly find some peace with perhaps the chaos that September might bring, and maybe get some thinking as to how we can plan going forward. So looking at winding down, number one, you might be packing up your room. And this is a difficult thing that we need to do. I had to myself pack up my entire classroom and have it moved out and put into my basement because my classroom needed to be empty. I know some teachers right now, they're not needing to do that, and other teachers are. It is possible when you go into your classroom to have a target list of the things that you need to get done and get that done as quickly as possible so that you're not spending days and days packing that up. And again, for the last week, for those of us that are doing synchronous learning probably is going to look a little bit different, even more so this week, as we are trying to bring some closure for our students as well as have some fun. So there has been a ton of ideas out there this week. Teachers are sharing like crazy about all of the different kinds of ideas that they are using to wind down this week, have some fun, and allow our students to get a sense of closure with this school year ending, because it certainly seems a lot different from what it has in the past. For me, that means a lot of playing games. So today I played a game of categories with my students, and I purchased a categories game on TPT today for about $2, and that allowed me to play the game. It's a PowerPoint game, and allowed me to play that with my students and just have fun and lots of laughs with them in small groups. That's the kind of game that I think a whole group might not work quite so well, because you need everyone kind of talking and sharing their answers, but it did work really well in small groups. I've heard other teachers are doing things like scavenger hunts, bingo even, which sounds cool with a group, Kahoot, digital field trips as well. They're going on those together, exploring different places through screen sharing through your video software as well. For whole group lessons, one of the things we're doing is we are asking our students to dress up for the final day, final video chat with our whole class. And this is because our students are moving on to another school next year. So we want to have a formal farewell to them. So we will be doing some year-end slideshow activities, as well as kind of celebrating who they are and allowing our students to have a sense of closure, to say goodbye to not only us, but to their classmates and to the sense of community that they're moving away from next year. So those are kind of some of the focuses for this week in terms of kind of the winding down. For me, it's definitely gathering some of those teaching resources as well that I might be needing for planning in the summer, to make sure that I have that prepped and prepared, because I don't want to be scrambling again in August. So making sure that I have all of those resources that I want and have them ready to go is also going to be something else that I can be focusing on this week as we are winding down. Now, as we're moving ahead and looking forward to beyond this week, we can recognize first that we don't necessarily know what the school or classroom situation is going to look like in September. But we will know we need to teach something, probably the curriculum that we need to cover. And when that's the case, then we can start planning kind of big ideas. At least we can wrap our head around what subjects we might teach when. So for this period of time, I always like to sit down now that I know what I'm teaching, what subjects I'm covering, and perhaps what my schedule is going to look like if that's been given to me already. It's a great time for me to kind of sit down and plan those big ideas. What topics or units am I going to cover each month? What themes are we going to explore in language? And particularly, I'm going to be paying close attention to how I can make sure that the texts that I'm choosing are more from a diverse background to make sure that the students in my classroom see themselves represented in the books that I am choosing, both in my classroom library as well as in my teaching materials as well. It also allows me to audit some of my lessons to make sure that they are culturally responsive and reflecting an accurate sense of history for social studies. It's why I really like to sit down and do my long-range plans. So if that is something that you can see yourself doing, is sitting down and kind of planning that out. If you want to have a glimpse of what my long-range plans look like, you can find those for free on my website at www.madlylearning.com. You scroll down to see the little blue boxes underneath the photo of me, and you can click the link and grab long-range plans for grades 3, 4, 4, 5, or 5, 6 as well. So that's kind of what I'm doing now. Think big ideas. I might not know exactly what lesson I'm going to teach when or who's going to be in my class what day, but at least I can have an overall big idea as to what topics I'm going to be covering during what times. Now, as far as these videos go, I think we always do the videos throughout the summer. The focus of these videos going through the summer is going to be responsive to kind of the needs of teachers that are what we're experiencing now. So focusing on what literacy can look like, what math, science, and social studies, using inquiry, all of those are going to be topics that we are going to be covering throughout the summer. So if there is ever a topic that you would love to chat about during these summer sessions, feel free to send me a message on social media and reach out and let me know what is something that you're interested in chatting about, and I'll make sure that we can schedule that into the calendar for what it is that we can be talking about as well. So looking forward into how this digital learning is going to be planned will definitely be a part, especially when we're talking about what aspects of the curriculum can be covered at home and how we can differentiate between those two subjects as to what happens at home for distance learning and what might happen in the school, and really navigating that. And it's my hope to go more live with you on Monday nights so that we can kind of be responsive to all of the ever-changing situations that are happening in our classrooms these days. And the other big news that I want to share with you is about Madly Learning and where you can find Madly Learning products. Madly Learning products are going to be offered both on TPT, but we're also going to be moving some of our products onto our own website to be able to offer these to customers in Canadian dollars. The exchange rate right now is pretty brutal, and I know for a lot of teachers, they would love the opportunity to be able to know what they're paying before it hits their visa statement. So we will be moving some of the Madly Learning products onto our own site so that you can be purchasing them in Canadian dollars. Now that does mean that you will have taxes, but we will build that right into the purchase price. So the price that you see is the price that you will pay on our website. So we're hoping to be able to launch Canadian dollared products as in August. That is our hope. We're going to cross our fingers and hope that we can get all of that set up so that we can begin the back to school season with Madly Learning offered both on TPT as well as in Canadian dollars on our own site. So stay tuned for more of that. So I would love for you to continue to join me on Monday nights as we talk about all of the ever constant changes that are happening in education right now. It is my goal to help to provide support and coach you through all of these changes as they hit us and support you through this as we enjoy our summer, but also get ourselves prepared to go back to school in September with whatever that may look like. Thank you so much for joining me. Good luck with your final week, and I hope you take some time to rest, relax, and recover over the next couple of weeks as you recognize how much work it is that you've put in over these last couple of months to adapt your students to a digital learning and yourself to a digital learning model. So thank you so much for joining me, and we will see you next Monday night as we begin our summer session PD. Bye for now.